Well, that guy was caught on tape and obviously hung around long enough that the clerks certainly got a good look at him along with the cameras. But what if the robbery took just a few seconds? There's no surveillance video and you're the victim. What should you do? Sandy James explains in our special report, Eyewitness IQ.
Get up to the front, now! Go! Now! Get up to the front! Get the money in! Go! Open it! Open it! Open it! Come on! Come on! Come on! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Look down! Don't look at me! Get on the ground! Now! Don't look! Don't look up!
That took exactly 35 seconds. Damon Coates with the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office. Can it happen just that fast?
It almost always does. These guys want to get their money and get out of the store.
So the question is, how much do you remember about the bad guys? What color hair did they have? How long was it? What did their guns look like? How tall were they? Tomorrow night, we're going to give you a chance to call in and see just how good a witness you really are. In Clackamas County, I'm Sandy James, KOIN 6 News.
You witness an armed robbery. In fact, you're inside the store when it happens.
Of course, your adrenaline is going to be pumping, your mind is going to be racing, but the question tonight is, how much would you remember?
Okay, a few minutes ago, we showed you a staged convenience store robbery. Now, what do you recall about the bad guys?
All right, well, we're going to ask you what you recall about the bad guys. In fact, we have a few people on the phone now. Mary from Portland is joining us. Mary, tell us what you remember from the clip of this staged robbery.
Well, what I saw was two white men, one with a black coat, blue jeans, black hair, and a mustache. The other had on a blue cap with the cross on the right-hand side, a red sweatshirt, and blue jeans, and they both had guns.
Ooh, very good. Hey, Ruth from Gresham, can you hear us? Ruth, are you there on the phone?
Sure am.
Yeah, okay, Ruth, what do you remember?
We have two white male adults. Subject number one had a faded red long-sleeve sweatshirt, Levi's, with a knit cap with a cross on the right-hand side. It looked like tape.
Okay, cross on the right-hand side.
That's a good description of one of the suspects. I think I have a third caller now. Chris from Almsville is joining us. Chris, what do you remember from that robbery?
The one guy had a stocking, knit stocking hat on with like a plus side on the one side. They were both wearing old white tennis shoes. Ooh. One had like a black coat on it, shirt coat, whatever you want to call it. The other one had like a medium rust or orange sweater.
Oh, okay.
Both of the coats and shirts were long sleeve.
Okay, thanks,
Both
Chris.
of them were wearing blue jeans. Clip and pistol feed is what the pistols were. Black hair, mustache.
Man.
Boy.
Chris,
those are great descriptions.
You know who joins us right now, Sandy James, who did this story for us and was there for the stage robbery. How did they do?
Not too bad, but then, of course, it was a lot easier for them. They've seen the tape several times, and they didn't have someone pointing a gun at their head. So it's time to go back to the store and see how well our customers do. Now, Damon Coates with the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office is about to test their eyewitness IQ.
Good.
I understand you've just been through a robbery.
Yes, we have.
You want to come over and sit down for just a second? If I can just ask you a couple of quick questions.
Okay.
I want to get a real brief description first so I can get it out to the cars on the street. And then after that, I'd like to sit down and talk to you at length a little bit longer.
Okay.
Anything prominent that you remember, first of all? Any clothing or...
He was wearing a hat, like a knitted hat.
Okay.
And medium size, like 175.
And this is a white male, black male?
White.
White male. And about how tall would you guess he would be?
I'd say he's like 5'11".
Okay.
I don't think he's
compared to me, about how tall would
he's
you put
smaller
him?
than you. He's shorter than you.
Okay. About 5'11". About how old would you guess him to be?
I think he's like 35.
Remember, are these both white people, males, females?
Two guys, I think both white.
Okay. Height-wise, how would you place him?
I'd say he was about 5'10", 5'11".
Okay. What about weight?
Weight, 172. Faded red shirt, faded red sweatshirt, I think. And I think faded blue jeans. Saw that he had a gun.
General color of the gun?
Black.
Black. About how old would you say he was?
I would say he was 35.
Now, not bad considering the stress they were under, but are they right? And did they miss anything obvious? I think you'll be surprised by this. Tomorrow night, we're going to meet our bad guys and see just how close you and our customers are.
Well, that's fascinating.
Yeah, it is.
Thanks, Sandy. Our viewers that called in didn't do too bad either.
They didn't do too bad.
If you've ever been the victim of a robbery, you know how frightening it can be, especially if the robber is armed. And being a good witness can often mean the difference between whether the bad guy is caught or not. That's why we set up a robbery to see how much you and our customers remembered. Tonight, we're going back to the store to see how well everybody did and to give you some tips on little things that can make a big difference in your eyewitness IQ.
Don't move! Get up to the front! Get up to the front now! Go! Get up to the front! Go! Go! Now! Get up to the front now! Get down! Get down! Get on the ground! Get on the ground now! Now! Get on the ground! Look down! Don't look at me! Get on the ground!
This is an armed robbery we staged to see what you and the store customers would remember about the suspects. We took your phone calls, and Damon Coates with the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office debriefed the customers. Now let's see how well everybody did in identifying the bad guys. Okay, we're bringing our bad guys back in now. What do you think? Did they look anything at all like you remember?
Yeah. Yeah, kinda. Not the guys. I just remember the clothes.
Yeah, me too.
So you feel pretty good about your descriptions? Damon,
Yeah.
why don't you tell us how well they did?
The clothing for our second customer was really pretty close. He had the faded red sweatshirt, faded blue jeans. They have him at about 5'11", 170, and you're
5'10", 175.
Yeah, so height and weight's pretty good. Both customers had him at 35 years old, and you're
23.
23.
Okay, so they were off a few years. But did they miss anything really obvious? Did you catch it?
If you were to notice the hat at all and see this head, this is distinct. If we were to find that on the street, that's unusual, and that would be an identifying kind of a thing that would catch somebody's eye.
They did pretty well considering. Being robbed at gunpoint is terrifying. That's why one of the best things you can do for yourself is plan for it. Police say it will help. They say think about the little things, because those things could help you be a better witness and help police catch the bad guy.
If I make a mental note that he basically is about at this point for height, I can come back afterwards as a witness and say, you know, he was about right there when he walked out the door, and we'll come up with a pretty accurate idea of how tall he truly is.
Look for things like facial hair, scars, tattoos, jewelry.
Like if either one of these guys, if he points a gun at me and I see his hand, I'm picking out that he has 2 rings on. Chances are he's going to have those 2 rings when we're out on the street and we find him in an hour. But there's a really good chance they're going to change clothes, throw off a sweatshirt, throw off a coat.
Hopefully what we learned here tonight is going to make you a better witness down the road. In Clackamas County, I'm Sandy James, KOIN 6 News.
But as Damon Coates says, don't try to be a hero. Most robbers like that get very little money, and he says they are usually always caught, so it is not worth doing anything foolish. We would like to thank the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office, the store, and our customers for helping all of us be a better witness.